Wow, that is absolutely ridiculous. Have a look at this channel right here. This one is a faceless channel. So the person creating this channel is completely anonymous and generated 39,000 in 30 days with an RPM of 570. Or have a look at this channel right here. This one generated 9,000 in the last 30 days with an RPM of 665. What I want to do with you today is I want to show you 5 different kinds of faceless channels that anyone can start. And by the way, I know that there are a lot of different kinds of fake gurus out there who will tell you you can start any of these channels, but they don't show you how. What I want to do with you today is I don't just want to show you these channels, but actually I want to show you how to start them. I will give you every single tool that is necessary to create a channel just like this one called Navy Media. Before I do that, I just have one simple thing to ask you. This is a completely new channel. Let's grow this one together, and it would be amazing if you could subscribe to this channel. A button is under this video. Just simply click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any kind of new content that I will publish here on this YouTube channel. Thanks again, and now let's get started with the first channel. This one is called Navy Media. It has 322,000 subscribers and only 124 videos. And what we can see right here is that this channel is incredibly profitable. This is a channel that someone grew from scratch, and let's have a look at the videos because these are pretty simple, and I guess most of you can create these kinds of videos as well. Like this one right here. This one has 2 million views. It generated 2 million views in 9 days, and if I just click on this video, you'll be surprised because it's pretty easy content. Now, you think that these videos right here are probably quite difficult to shoot. You need a big TV team, you probably need lots of capital, but no, these are all actually stock videos, and you can get these kinds of stock videos from platforms like, for instance, Storyblocks or, for instance, Freepik. And often these kinds of platforms, they cost you a fixed amount, like, for instance, $20 per month or something like that. But that's it. If you sign up to these kinds of platforms, you can use an almost unlimited amount of videos, and you can even use them commercially if you use them in the sense of, like, for instance, this kind of YouTube video. So what we need to do in order to create this kind of channel is the following. First of all, we need a source for these kinds of videos, for these kinds of, let's say, stock videos. You can find them on Storyblocks, on Freepik. Then what we need to do is we need to find some viral ideas, and the best way to do that in my mind is just simply to click on popular videos on these kinds of channels and to just have a look what kind of content they are creating. For instance, right here, pirates try to hit the wrong US Navy ship, big mistake. Or how aircraft carriers prepare 17,000 meals a day for 5,000 US Navy sailors. And what I can do is I can click on this video and I can actually just get this title. And what I can do with this title is very, very simple. I head over to an artificial intelligence called Claude AI, and I just simply go in here and I say, write a YouTube script with at least 3,000 words about this topic. And then you just simply paste the title in here, you click on enter, and then it will create this complete video script for you. And you might be thinking, well, don't I have to, do something else? This seems to be too easy. But have a look. This is the complete YouTube script for this video. It says right here, YouTube script, how aircraft carriers prepare 17,000 meals a day for 5,000 US Navy sailors. And then imagine cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for your entire neighborhood every single day. Now multiply that by 100. Welcome to the most intense kitchen operation on Earth, the galley of the US Navy aircraft carrier, where culinary teams and so on. You can probably read this yourself, and you will see that this is a complete script that you can just simply read out loud and create the content for these kinds of videos. Now, you might be thinking, how exactly do I record this? Now, the microphone that I'm personally using is called Blue Yeti X. So Blue Yeti X, that's a microphone that costs around, I think, $150, $199 if you buy it new. If you just have a look on eBay, you'll probably get it for, I don't know, like $50 or something. So just simply head to eBay, buy this kind of microphone, and then sit down with your microphone, put it into your PC, and what you want to do is you just simply want to read out this entire script right here. And as soon as you're done with that, you connect that script in tools like, for instance, CapCut with the stock videos that you got from platforms like, for instance, Storyblocks or FreePick. Now you might be saying, why don't I use tools like 11 Labs? So 11 Labs, for instance, is a software that takes your text and turns it into basically speech. It turns it into spoken word, and it is an artificial intelligence. The problem here is this: YouTube actually has some new rules, and they came into effect in July 2025, and YouTube basically says that there must be a human component to your content. Now, if the video itself is AI generated, or we use stock videos, or we use basically AIs in all types of different, or all kinds of different ways, and we use basically an AI everywhere, then there is no human component. So what YouTube basically tells us is somewhere there needs to be a human component so that we don't demonetize that channel. And the best way, in my mind, to give it a human component is just simply to use a microphone and to basically read out the script and connect it with the video content. That's one simple way how, of course, you can make sure that the channel is not being demonetized. You, of course, have to invest a bit of work into it, but as soon as you purchase the microphone, there are no other associated costs, and your channel can basically, thrive for years and will not be deleted after months, and that's, I think, the best thing we can do. So the second channel actually is this one that I want to show you, and it's called Stories of the Imperium. This one has 80 videos and it has already more than 35,000 subscribers, and as you can see, it generates quite a decent amount of revenue. Now, when I click right here on videos, you will see that this is some pretty easy to create content. The videos are long, and that's why I assume it has a very high RPM, but have a look at the content. I mean, it is super simple to create. These are just some AI generated photos, and on top of these AI generated photos, we have voiceover basically. And again, it's an AI or person speaking, and people are actually watching this content. And of course, because it's so long, there are lots of ads in that content, and that's why it generates quite a lot of revenue. So you might be saying, how exactly do I generate these kinds of photos? Well, you can of course use tools just like ChatGPT. If you get the premium version of ChatGPT, you can pretty much, generate unlimited amounts of photos. I know there is a limit, but come on. I mean, who generates thousands of photos per day? So if you just get the premium version, you can set up different kinds of YouTube channels, and it's probably enough in order to generate enough photos for these YouTube channels. And you just simply go in here and you describe what kind of photo you want to create. Or what you can also do is you can just simply take a screenshot of this, put this into ChatGPT and say, give me a prompt that leads to this kind of photo. And then you can use that prompt in order to generate more photos. And if you say, well, how exactly am I going to come up with the text for this? Again, you can use Claude AI in order to write the script. And then, of course, you just have to use your microphone, you have to do the voiceover, and that's it. So then you create basically a video based on these couple of photos that you generate in ChatGPT, and you connect that with the voiceover, and that's it. That's the entire content. And by the way, I want to show you a strategy how you can copy these kinds of channels much more quickly. Now, I want to make sure that you don't steal anything. That's important to me. I don't want you to do anything wrong, because these are creators, they put in a lot of effort, so don't do anything wrong. But what you can do is you can learn from these creators with a tool called Nextlev. And this is how you do it. You click just simply here on Analyze, and as soon as you do that, it will analyze the entire channel and show you exactly what they're doing and what you can do in order to start such a channel as well. So basically what it says right here is, for instance, how many views an average video gets, or here, days since start, average monthly uploads, and so on and so on. So this guy pretty much uploads every single day, which is pretty good. And then down here, it gives you the best performing content bucket, so you can see exactly what people are interested in. And also it gives you the format for the titles. And this is super helpful if you want to create your own YouTube channels, because it says right here, the adjective life of, noun in ... So basically what we do is we look at these titles, we look at these formats right here, and we think, all right, if I start my own channel, how exactly can I use these kinds of formats in order to come up with some, pretty high quality titles? And these are titles that will help you to really go viral. So use these information and try to apply them to your situation. Then it gives you a saturation analysis, gives you, performance patterns, gives you insights into the behavior of the audience, and a lot more. But what I'm really interested in is this one right here, the feedback summary. This artificial intelligence that I'm using, again, it's called Nextlev, and I also have it linked in the video description if you want to get started with it. It's actually pretty cheap. It costs, I think, 13 euros, in your case probably like $14 or something like that per month. This is super cheap in order to, get started with YouTube automation. And basically what it does, it analyzes all the comments on the videos of the channel, and it says right here what viewers liked, and on the right side what viewers disliked. So it takes the comments and basically looks at the comments and says, all right, what kind of comments were people leaving under the videos. So what were the things they were complaining about, what did they like, and as soon as these comments were analyzed, it gives you a recommendation right here. And for instance, what this person, this channel creator, did well is engaging storytelling and narration, human relatability, atmospheric audio and editing. So that all sounds pretty good. But what were the things that didn't work out? So repetitive phrasing, audio clarity issues, length of videos. So some people actually think, as far as it seems, that these videos were too long. Then here, lack of visual aids. So basically, they want more photos, they want more, visual elements, they want some kind of visual stimulation and not just these kinds of AI photos. But I mean, these were only 5 comments, so not sure if this is something that is a broader issue, let's say. Alright, so then down here, it gives you the exact titles that you can use in order to really go viral. For instance, right here, what happens when you become a servitor in Warhammer 40k? What happens when you join the Death Watch in Warhammer? And what happens when a planet is purged by the, and so on and so on. So basically, you can take these kinds of titles, change them up a bit perhaps, and really have viral titles that you can use for your own channel, for your own videos. So again, this is a huge game changer for me. I love this tool. It's super cheap, and it allows us to copy completely even complex channels, simple channels, complex channels. It gives you all the strategies that you need in order to get started. It's super cool, and already more than 100,000 creators are using it. Have a look at it. Link to it is in the description. All right, so then let's move on to the third channel. This one's called Dumbarium, and it's quite an exciting one because this one has a different kind of approach, and it's a super easy approach actually, because we can use Claude AI and other AI tools to basically automate 99% of all the content creation here. So this one generated 3,176 in the last 30 days, and the RPM is at 574, which is pretty good. Now, if we look at the videos, it basically is the easiest to create Claude AI content we could possibly come up with. And it says right here, for instance, 50 strict laws that only existed during wartime, or 50 dumbest car laws around the world, or 50 dumbest bans on everyday objects, 50 dumbest bans that only exist because of Halloween, and so on and so on. So what I would do is I would just simply click on one of these videos, and again, I would pick the title right here. I would just, copy it basically. Then I would go into Claude AI, and I would set up a new chat basically right here, and I would say again, write a script for a YouTube video, with at least 3,000 words about this topic. And then I'll put in here and I'll say go, and now it creates the entire script for me. So that's super easy, and I will just, in a couple of moments, have 50 different kinds of laws explained in a, nice, entertaining fashion. By the way, I can also, change the script to my liking if I just say, make it more humorous, or make it more exciting, or make it more, I don't know, like more factual or something like that. And here, there we go, section 1, attendance and time policies, rule 50, rule 49, rule 48, rule 47, and so on and so on. And it now gives me 50 of these rules, and these are exactly the kinds of videos that people love to watch. Now, when I actually click on this channel right here, the Dumbarium channel, and I filter that for popular videos, it says right here that some of these videos actually have hundreds of thousands of views. And again, these images, even right here, these thumbnails, they're super easy to create with, for instance, Google Gemini or other kinds of AI tools. These are probably images that are AI generated, so we don't need to even design these kinds of thumbnails. Now, the next one that I want to show you, and by the way, before we actually go on to the next one, because the next one is super exciting because it's so sloppy, and I want to give you some quite cool tools that you can use in order to create this kind of content. I want to show you another tool that is super helpful for anyone who wants to create a faceless channel, and this one's called Hera. Now, Hera is a tool that is also super cheap, and that you can use in order to create any kinds of animations. Now, you've probably heard of these kinds of channels like Real Life Lore or Economics Explained, and I actually have lots of different kinds of faceless channels that are pretty much in that area. And what I like to use is high quality animations. But if I create these animations myself, it takes forever, and I can actually create these kinds of high quality animations within seconds with this AI tool. So what I can do is, and let's have a look at these templates right here, is I can pick any of these templates or just come up with my own idea and it will create a template for me. And I can create these high quality animations within seconds. Now, imagine what kind of content you you can create with that, whether a channel in the field of economics, or for instance, I have a channel, let's be honest here, and I want to be transparent with you. This is a channel about fast food documentaries. And I often talk about, for instance, the downfall of, let's say, Burger King, or, you know, the success of Chick-fil-A or something like that. And in order to really bring across my point, what I try to do is I try to give them stats. So people like to see, for instance, like a revenue growth, or they want to see revenue decline, or they want to see these kinds of graphics. And to create these kinds of graphics myself, it takes forever, but here it just takes seconds. So what I can do is I can just simply, you know, let's say click on this one right here, and I can type in, if I just click right here on use this template, I can type in what I need. So I just go there, use this template, then I will head over to this prompt field down here, and now I can put in the data, or I can put in the information that I want to show, and it will translate that and turn it into a super high quality animation within seconds. And I don't mean within minutes, within seconds. That makes it super easy to use. And also, if I create lots of videos, you know, I don't have to wait every single time, like minutes, until one single scene is generated properly. So that's a huge help for me. And if you, for instance, start some kind of, you know, geo channel or something like that, or you talk about different kinds of countries, or you go into politics or something like that, then these kinds of animations are super helpful as well. So try it out. I put it in the video description for you guys. Just click down here on upgrade, and you will see it's not very expensive. You need probably the pro plan, but I think you can get started with the standard plan. It just costs $12 a month, and it will make your content so much more appealing, so high quality. And if you have high quality content, you know, it's gonna last, it's gonna be profitable for many, many years to come. It's gonna be super nice evergreen content and generate probably, you know, some good revenue. And again, I don't want you to create super sloppy content, and I'm just gonna show you actually in a couple of seconds what I mean by that. I want you to create high quality content, because this is how you win in YouTube Faceless. We don't want to put out, you know, trashy content. We want to create high quality content, and the best way to really create great content, you know, is with high quality information, tools like, for instance, Claude AI, but also with animation tools like Hera. So check it out. Link to it is in the video description. And now let's move on to the next channel. And this one is super sloppy, and I'm not sure why this one is monetized actually. This one generates 1,262 in 30 days. It has an RPM of 579, which I also find surprisingly high, because let's have a look at the videos right here. This is just, you know, content that was probably generated in Google VO 3.1 or something like that. And it is just simply, you know, AI slop video behind AI slop video behind AI slop video. And the storyline is weird, the videos are weird, and, you know, people are watching this kind of stuff. Maybe because they want to see some kind of AI content. I don't believe that they actually believe that this is real content, or like documentary content or something like that. But these kinds of channels are super successful. And at the moment, still YouTube seems to monetize some of them, but over the long run, I don't think that they will stay monetized. And then the last channel that I want to show you, and this is a super cool niche because you can also outsource it completely to an AI. This one is a channel called Urban Planner Explained. This one generated 5,835, and it has an RPM of 486. And if I click right here on videos, it basically shows you all the kinds of, you know, for instance, types of cities, or it shows you certain suburban lives, or here every major city design explained in 9 minutes. And what's really interesting to me is that these thumbnails are so outside the box. They're different. And I think this is one of these, you know, niches where for some time this will be highly profitable and will go viral. But at some point, you know, we might have some kind of, you know, saturation in that market. So I think this is a interesting channel to start right now, but maybe, you know, not in 2 or 3 years time. So if you have the first mover effect right now, if you can be the first one in that niche, or one of the first ones, you know, this could be, you know, a very nice and very profitable endeavor. So let's have a look at one of these videos right here. It is, again, a simple concept. We just have this thumbnail that we start with in the video. We just zoom in to these different kinds of, you know, city structures, and then it's being explained, and it's connected with these very simple animations that were probably created in like PowerPoint or Keynote or something like that. So super easy to create. It takes some time, but I think anyone can create this without, you know, having to spend any money, and it's super easy if you know how to use PowerPoint or Keynote. So this is another channel that I would really recommend you to start. It's cool, it's simple, and people love this kind of content, and it's also in the education niche, which gives it a higher RPM, and I think also this is the kind of channel that will not get demonetized in the near future. So, you know, another great way to start a Faceless channel. And by the way, if you want to start more Faceless channels, this is the first video on this channel. I want to give you all the information that you need in order to really build a successful business around your Faceless channel. This is the YT Faceless Club, so please give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. And in the video description for you is Next Left. This is a tool that allows you to copy channels, to really dig deep, to have a look at the statistics, at the earnings, and a lot more. And this tool right here called Hera is a tool that you can use in order to animate these incredible charts and so on. And if you want to get that, a link to that is in the video description as well. And again, a link to Next Left is in the video description as well. All right, so that was it for today's video. Have a look in the description, and I hope to see you in one of my other videos.